Here's today's In Touch devotion.
Today's scripture reading is Daniel chapter 6, verses 16 through 27. Then Darius the king gave orders, and Daniel was brought in and cast into the lion's den. The king spoke and said to Daniel, "Your God, whom you constantly serve, will himself deliver you." A stone was brought and laid over the mouth of the den, and the king sealed it with his own signet ring, and with the signet rings of his nobles, so that nothing would be changed in regard to Daniel. Then the king went off to his palace and spent the night fasting, and no entertainment was brought before him, and his sleep fled from him. Then the king arose at dawn, at the break of day, and went in haste to the lion's den. When he had come near the den to Daniel, he cried out with a troubled voice. The king spoke and said to Daniel, "Daniel, servant of the living God, has your God, whom you constantly serve, been able to deliver you from the lions?" Then Daniel spoke to the king, "O king, live forever. My God sent his angel and shut the lions' mouths, and they have not harmed me, inasmuch as I was found innocent before him. And also toward you, O king, I have committed no crime." Then the king was very pleased, and gave orders for Daniel to be taken up out of the den. So Daniel was taken up out of the den, and no injury whatever was found on him, because he had trusted in his God. The king then gave orders, and they brought those men who had maliciously accused Daniel, and they cast them, their children, and their wives into the lion's den. And they had not reached the bottom of the den before the lions overpowered them and crushed all their bones. Then Darius the king wrote to all the peoples, nations, and men of every language who were living in all the land, "May your peace abound. I make a decree that in all the dominion of my kingdom, men are to fear and tremble before the God of Daniel. For he is the living God and enduring forever, and his kingdom is one which will not be destroyed, and his dominion will be forever. He delivers and rescues and performs signs and wonders in heaven and on earth, who has also delivered Daniel from the power of the lions."
Daniel had been faithfully living for the Lord from the time he was a teenager. His reputation for integrity and godliness was earned over a lifetime. Today's passage shows him facing a dangerous situation, the lion's den. Although we usually focus on Daniel and the beasts, it's also interesting to note the behavior of the king who sent him there to die. Though he'd signed the law that created Daniel's predicament, Darius was so impressed by his servant that he tried to save him. When that effort failed, the ruler made a surprising statement of trust in the Lord. "Your God, whom you constantly serve, will himself deliver you." Unwavering devotion to Christ leads others to trust him. It's tempting to have a commitment of convenience where we stay faithful as long as it's safe and doesn't involve risk, rejection, or criticism. But doing so is a poor example of what it means to trust God. We should keep in mind that our response can draw people to Jesus or push them away. If you desire to be like Daniel, practice your commitment to Christ both privately and publicly. The time you spend alone with God will transform your character. Then your integrity might inspire others to want to know the Lord.